Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. We're now on part 3 of our top 10 Texas Longhorns for the 2020 season. By the way, Matthew's back in the building. We're here together. We're having fun. We were recording all these to put this together in lieu of a preview of our season kickoff of Texas versus UTEP September 12th. But Tran, who I think we agree right now on our... Oh, by the way, before I get to the preview, I'm sorry. I do want to promote the link. We've been pushing that below. Wade LeBlanc of the Baltimore Orioles, my good friend Tyler Dixon, the relief efforts for Lake Charles, the impact that, the severity of the storm and everything, all the damages that have been done to Lake Charles in the result of Hurricane Laura. So if all of you guys could just hit that up and support as best you can, we'd really appreciate that, and I know they will too. Now, I know for our number 4 player, we do have an agreement amongst our list. We picked the same person.
Yep.
In the 4 spot, who is the person we both picked?
Leader of DBU, currently.
Are we allowed to say DBU?
I'm going to say it. I don't care.
Okay. So with Caden Stearns, this is bounce back season, right? Yeah. This is junior year. We level up, we handle our business, and hopefully get to the league, right? Because he has all the tools you look for on the field, off the field, instincts, intangibles, the whole nine, as well as his outlook on the game. And that's something we all noticed early on his freshman year in 2018. Now, 2019, he came into the season injured. Mm-hmm. He continued to play injured. He got injured. He came back, finished the season injured. A lot of injuries for Caden Stearns. On top of playing almost every position on the defense. I think a lot of people were felt let down. But, the more I think about it, the more I've went back and watched just what we were asking him to do. It was really a yeoman's effort from all fronts, especially in the run game, when the coaches are putting us in positions where we're just naturally not going to have leverage in numbers and good run fits, and he was trying to make some plays anyway. Warrior spirit out there. Mm-hmm. Now with this defense, getting more of traditional free safety opportunities where you can be that ball hawk, come over top. Still a force of the run game. That's why the NFL loves him. He can do both, but he's got to stay healthy. If not for health, you can make the argument he should be higher, right? Yeah, no. This is a guy who finished the season going into the 2019 season before everything, Sports Illustrated had him in their top 40 players. So my number 4 is Caden Stearns. I know that's yours as well.
Yeah, he's the only one on the team right now that can claim an All-American honor right now, right?
For what? Freshman All-American?
Yeah, he's claimed an All-American honor.
Well, right? Wasn't Crosby second team?
I'm talking. Wasn't he first team though? He was first team freshman All-American, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to be the leader of the defense. I want to see him be able to call out what offensive play is about to happen. I want to see him get back to being the rangy defensive back that he is. I mean, we talk about that. What was it? The Tulsa game where he read the quarterback's eyes and drifted all the way across the field and picked it off right on the sideline. We were actually trying to find that picture for his background photo.
Yeah,
but we saw very shortly him playing healthy, and that was in the Utah game, and he looked like himself in the Utah game. We know what he's like when he was so young playing healthy. So now that he's gotten used to the speed of the game, understanding it between the ears, like we've said before. The game's just going to be slowed down for him, and hopefully he can get back to the ball hawk that we know he is.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to the All-American thing, was with Caden, but with Sam Cosby, I misspoke there. He was second team Big 12, but with just overall, I think we both agree the health is the only thing really holding him back. And having an opportunity to just have consistency playing one position.
Yeah. And if we're talking about importance, he may be top 2, for our list. So,
well, from a leadership standpoint, you can make that argument. I just think with Caden Stearns as well, you have to, when we're talking about projecting people for the NFL, and this is something that a lot of people have come on this channel to complain about. Hey, when we're asking people to jump around positions, it messes up their evaluation, right? Like, not just being able to show I'm the best free safety. Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm playing free safety 20% of the time because I'm over here plugging all these holes, that screws with my evaluation because now I'm getting exposed.
Yeah.
You can make the argument that may have happened to Brandon Jones, during his time here at Texas, having to plug holes. Hopefully now with the depth of recruiting, we're out of the plugging hole business.
He's right. In his
natural position. So my turn. We're now in our top 3 players. I'm going to go another person who I started. I'm going to take some credit because I started this back in 2018 in the Iowa State game when we got to see him. And I was like, who's rocking Malik's number? Well, he's made it his own now. And that's Joseph Osai. One of the things I love about Joe, when you talk about passion for the game, that charisma, he has big game energy. Played well, you see what he did against Joe Burrow, as well as turning him over. The Utah Bowl game was his coming out party from a standpoint of just, hey, let's just let you focus on what you do best instead of you plugging holes and asking you to play safety and cover people 30 yards downfield and play middle linebacker this week. Hey, when you can just go and fly and be a natural edge rusher. Right. But it's also out of necessity. Some of it is due to injuries. Yeah. No disrespect to Todd Orlando. But a lot of it was also like, oh, we don't trust this person or this other player's not here yet, so can you please play nickel or can you please, play linebacker? Hopefully we're out of that business. Same thing applies. Only difference is this guy, whatever nicks he had, he played through it and he played hard. He played well. I believe that Joseph Osai, he's my pick for Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. That's how hard body I'm going for him. And I think he's going to, especially with that energy and football IQ, he hasn't been playing football very long. Yeah. And natural speed, ability, everything. The NFL is going to come calling for him real soon. So that's my number 3 player.
My number 3 player, Sam Crosby. I mean, I did say in the last video that you could make an argument that Kerstetter is more important to the offensive line than Sam Crosby. But that's why left tackles are the second highest paid players in the NFL. He's so important. He's so good. He's projected. I think Mel Kiper mock draft. I think they had him at 32. It might have been Tom McShay, but one of those drafts. So he's projected at a very high pick in the first round.
mid first round right now. I've seen in the 15 range. I've seen as low as 11.
But we need to get him there though.
Yes.
And all the fans that are coming at me about the Brockemeyer twins, wanting them saying maybe they could flip. This is the only way we could get them flipped. If we get a guy drafted in the first round, possibly 2 if Kerstetter goes. But that's the only way, and because that the parents, the whole team actually chose Alabama as a business decision, and he's extremely important not only for this season, but also for future seasons and future recruiting. And if he plays out of his mind like he has been playing, sky's the limit for this kid.
So, I don't disagree with anything you just said, and I agree with you so much that it's actually going to be my number 2 player. So we're going to stay here with Samuel Cosmi. I feel as though when you look at the evaluation, like you said, the importance of getting him to the NFL, right? And developing him into what he needs to be from a pass blocking perspective. We know he has the grit and the nastiness there. But when you really think about it from a broader perspective, he's putting together one of the better Texas careers we've seen in a while. This is just the closing, hopefully the finishing act, because he did have a legitimate reason to go and ask for an evaluation.
Yeah.
I think he probably would have been around a second or third round pick. Very smart decision to return to school, solidify that, right? Because he was one of those guys that was waiting in the wings, Connor Williams last year when he redshirted, and he came on as a right tackle and caught everybody's attention right away.
Yep.
And then had a seamless transition
Over to left.
to left tackle. And then showing some of the, being able to get out there in space. This over here where he got a rushing touchdown on the throwback screen, right? And showing off his athleticism.
Yeah.
That matters, right?
Going back to that tight end. Didn't he used to play tight end in high school?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I think that was actually Connor Williams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting
the starter kit.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Connor Williams, right? And so at Matthews, didn't Connor Williams go to your high school? Capel? Yeah. See, there we go. We got a little connection going on here. So, but with Samuel Cosmi, they got to finish the job. And that's the staff. That's Herb Hand. That, let's get that out of the rooms of other schools when they're coming in to recruit against Texas.
I agree.
Right? Keep them healthy. And, let this is a showcase year, especially with eligibility, with a lot of guys especially the guys that are deciding to stay, with a lot of guys opting out across the college football landscape who some of them don't even have as good a grade right now as Samuel Cosmi. He's decided to stick around. I think I don't think the other guys will get knocked, but I think that this enhances.
Yeah, this will bolster his draft.
Right. The fact that he decided to play, if that makes sense. So, Sam Cosmi is my number 2 player that I selected for 2020.
So, my number 2 player was Mr. Joseph Osai. And I honestly, so beforehand we had to ask ourselves.
So I'm not in charge of the fan club anymore.
No, you can still be in charge of the fan club.
Man.
But I'm just.
I feel bad. I didn't.
I'm just backdooring you, kind of.
Hey, yo,
take it easy.
This is a family channel.
Yeah,
man.
true. No. So we actually had to look at this beforehand. And I'll ask it. I know you know the answer, but you can answer it for everyone. When was the last time Texas had a defensive player that had 10 or more sacks in one season?
Probably said Reed 2013.
Yep, that's exactly it. I think he is our defensive player that can push for that. I'm not going to say he's going to hit it, especially in a shortened season, but he has all the talent in the world to actually do that. Say UTEP, he gets multiple sacks in a game. It can happen, especially if we go to the Big 12 championship, especially if we go to the playoffs.
God willing, we have it. Yeah.
So he has the ability, and
Safely.
we saw that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we saw that when he was unleashed on us on Utah. Once he's allowed to see ball, get ball, hit ball, take his natural gifts of just, and he has natural instincts too. I've seen him where he stretched out a play and he just used his length to get the pulling guard off of him just by using his right arm. And he made the play didn't make the play, but he made the running back and kept contained, made the running back run up,
cut back inside,
and got his fellow, I think it might have been Jawar Mitchell, a tackle on that play. So I mean, he's just so. I just want to see him just evolve into the player that we know he can be.
I love him so much, and the energy and this whole. I want it so badly for these guys that deserve to win something, right? And that's why this year sucks, because it's like that picture. There's a reason why we have that LSU picture there, because again, they escaped their ass whooping that they were going to get on September 12th. And these LSU fans out there that are
they think their third string backups are going to beat us all.
Yeah.
So
we lost Jamar Chase, no problem. We're loaded, and I understand the talent level there is very, very high.
Yeah.
But you can't just excuse when you lose 75 people off your team. It's just like, we're just gonna keep it moving. No. But when guys like Joseph Osai, again, I talked about a showcase for Samuel Cosmi. He really does have the opportunity. And the other thing too should he be rushing the passer 100% of the time? That's where I do want to see some of that, because he's shown those skills where he can cover and surprise you in the screen game and even, trail a tight end down the field. We saw him. I've used example many times in the spring game with Jordan Whittington, right? Yeah. 50 yards down the field. So that's the type of player that Joseph Osai is. I am not going to knock you for having him above Sam Cosmi. I understand the context of the list. I just think that Sam Cosmi right now, where he is in his career, is a little bit further along than where Joseph Osai is. But I'm also, I know I'm already going to get crap for this because I just picked Joseph Osai to be Big 12 Defense Player of the Year. Yeah. So
no. Well, my thought process is we know what we're going to get right now in Sam Cosmi. He's gonna
right. We know
protection,
what we have.
His pass blocking's great. His run blocking's great. So we know we have a great player in him. We know we have a great player in Osai. We want to see it every single game. And I feel in this scheme, when he's allowed to be unleashed, I think we're going to see it.
I agree. Guys, that is part 3. We will have our last part where we debut our 2020 number 1 player.
Spoiler, it's not a kicker.
By now, you should probably deduce who it is, but we'll have a separate video for that particular individual. Horns always up.